Home Alone isn't just a movie for me. It's one of the films that made me want to become a movie maker, actually. At 4 and 5 years old, this movie raised me. I wrote a letter to Macaulay Culkin's talent agency when I was that young and actually got a signed photo back, as you can see right up here. And like any kid with no adult supervision and way too much imagination, I immediately tried to reenact every trap in my home. Every kid wanted to be Kevin. Every kid wanted to be brave. Every kid wanted the house to themselves. Now as adults, we nitpick it. Why didn't they call Kevin? Why didn't Kevin call the cops? How rich were these people? And wouldn't those traps kill a man? But today, we're gonna put all of that under the magnifying glass. The facts, the physics, and the behind-the-scenes stories, the economics, the music, and the hidden symbolism, and my usual wrap-up at the end. So sit back and have a snack and a Pepsi, or an adult beverage, and every time you hear Kevin, take a drink.
Kevin!
Why didn't the McCallisters just call Kevin? Because the phone lines were down.
Excuse me, I just wanted to let you know that your power is fixed, but the phone lines are a mess. It's gonna take Ma Bell a couple of days to patch them up, especially around the holidays.
Okay, thanks.
1990s suburbia. If a tree sneezed on a power line, you were offline for a full day. No Wi-Fi, no cell phones, no call forwarding, no Find My iPhone, no home security app that pings your phone every time a leaf rustles. Just landlines. And when those went down, you waited, you suffered. You read a magazine and hoped Kevin wasn't starting an electrical fire at home. People act like the McCallisters chose not to call Kevin. They literally couldn't. Why didn't Kevin call the cops? He did. At the end, right after he executed a full-scale suburban guerrilla warfare training course. Earlier, he's 8. He thinks he's a criminal for accidentally stealing a toothbrush. He runs from the police like they're the CIA or ICE. And importantly, Home Alone is filmed entirely from a child's emotional perspective. The adult world feels slow, confusing, intimidating. Joe Pesci literally pretends to be a cop. Police represent danger, not safety. And let's be honest, if Kevin calls the cops in the first 12 minutes, we get a short film. Roll credits, movie over. No traps, no chaos. No wet bandits somehow surviving 9 simultaneous concussions.
Where's my suitcase?
How did the McCallisters afford that house? Winnetka. Well, that's the whole explanation. The Home Alone house sits in one of the richest suburbs in America. In 1990, the house would have cost around $800,000 to $900,000, which absolutely fits upper-class late 80s Chicago money. Kate's a designer. Peter has a vague, high-paying business job. But here's the real kicker. Uncle Rob paid for the Paris trip. Rich uncle energy. Suspicious uncle in Paris energy. French mafia energy? The economics actually check out. This was not middle-class America. This was wealthy suburbia before the cost of living got cranked to 11.
Get the hell out of here.
All right, Johnny.
Kevin's fake movie, Angels with Filthy Souls. It's not a real movie. I always thought it was. It was actually created specifically for Home Alone using the period lighting and 1940s film noir style. People still actually try to rent it. It also accidentally introduced kids to murder, noir, and the single most quotable line in movie history. You thought I was going to say it right there, didn't you? We'll hold off.
I made my family disappear.
Kevin breaks the fourth wall. It's used for comedic effect effectively. Little looks to the camera, smirks, moments of, are you seeing what I'm seeing? It's intentional. Chris Columbus, the director, wanted kids to feel like Kevin was talking with them. It's part of what makes the fantasy work, and a thoroughly used gimmick from the 80s.
I made my family disappear.
Here's a list of the products Kevin buys in 1990 versus the prices today. He buys Tide detergent, paper towels, milk, microwave dinners, eggs, a toothbrush, so to speak, Pepsi, mac and cheese, and Little Nero's pizza. In 1990 prices, that grocery bill would have been $19.83. The pizza, $12, toothbrush, $1, and the Pepsi would just be over $1. Today, those same groceries, easily $45 to $60. The pizza, $30, the toothbrush, $4 to $6, and Pepsi, $3. If Kevin was left home alone today, he could use the infinite amount of services on your phone to buy everything he needs and to never leave the house. Sadly, that's probably what most people experience today. Home alone. All right, Kevin's traps, the internet's favorite topic. Let's break down the physics and the comedy and why they still survive intact. Blowtorch to the skull. In the real world, third-degree burns in probably under a second. The bone is exposed, immediate collapse. In the movie world, Harry screams pesky gibberish and continues burglarizing. By the way, he was repeatedly asked to not say the F word because he's not in a gangster picture. So it became Fritcha Frickin', Fritcha Baby.
Oh, not this time.
The paint can pendulum. Mythbusters tested it. It's fatal. Your skull becomes a decorative bowl. In Kevin's version, they soak it up like it's a paper towel commercial.
Don't worry, Marv, I'll get him for you.
Hot iron to the face. In the real world, the hospital. Multiple reconstructive surgeries. Extended recovery. In the movie world, Marv just groans and complains. Micro machine slip. This one is 100% realistic. Child injury physics at its purest. Marv falls exactly like you fall when stepping on a Lego at 3 a.m.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
The tarantula scream. It's a real tarantula in one take. Scream was dubbed later because he nearly blew the microphone out with that iconic high-pitched squeal. The terror was authentic. It's never not funny. This is also where that movie really imprinted itself on me. Not symbolically, but physically. I was out there setting Home Alone traps like a tiny suburban Batman villain. I put a toolbox in front of the bathroom door and tripped my grandmother. I sprayed water all over the porch in winter until my dad's friend Brian slipped and basically reenacted the Wet Bandits' greatest hits. I also tied a string to a tiny little iron and it went flying down the banister onto my mother's hand. I also put a bowling pin on top of a door so my dad almost got fully home alone. And I also slid down that front stairs like he does in the sled and broke the door. I got spanked a lot.
Where I went to see what was described as a little Christmas film, and I had no idea what to expect, and I was enchanted.
John Williams to the rescue, as always. There's a little bit of the Dies Irae, the Day of Wrath chant, that appears subtly throughout Williams' score, underscoring danger under the Christmas magic. He likes using that motif a lot. See if you can spot it in other John Williams scored films. The 7/8 time signature. Williams uses odd time cues to disorient the audience during chaotic scenes. You feel Kevin's anxiety because the music itself is off. Some behind-the-scenes magic. It was shot in a high school gym. The entire interior of the McCallister house was built inside New Trier High School. You never know the difference. And they actually flooded the gym to create the basement scene Kevin runs through. John Candy and Catherine O'Hara. Improv gold. John Candy improvised almost every single line. 23 hours straight. The polka king of the Midwest equals pure comedic jazz.
Polka, polka, polka. No?
Catherine O'Hara as the 90s mom archetype. Warm, frantic, fashionable, loving, mildly negligent. Perfect. There's something that feels more realistic about characters than compared to what the hyper-realistic feeling of movie characters are now. I don't know if it's just me, but everything seems overtly in your face. Not much is left up to the imagination these days. Here's a lot of symbolism at you. The church scene, one of the greatest scenes in any holiday movie. It's quiet, it's warm, it's spiritual. Old man Marley's band-aid symbolizes emotional wounds. At the end, it's gone, healed through Kevin's connection. Also, the reunion scene. Kate walks in, Kevin turns, they embrace. It's earned, it's real, and it ties the story up. And then, Marley's reuniting with his son. This is what Christmas cinema is truly about. It's the meaning of the story all wrapped up. It doesn't require the audience to figure it out. It just tugs on all the heartstrings. Wouldn't it be nice to have John Williams show up with an orchestra every time you have one of these succinct, emotional moments in life? The movie works because it operates on child logic. It's Kevin's point of view. The burglars equal villains. The traps are courage. The church is a sanctuary. Mom is a salvation. And Christmas equals the magic. Also, Marley equals the friendship. It's not realistic, it's emotionally honest. This is why Home Alone really still endures. Because it captures A, the moment in time a child's imagination takes over a holiday fantasy. 2, emotional truths of family reconciliation. And D, all the hallmarks of cinema, which are courage, chaos, humor, danger, and comfort. And because for kids like me, Kevin, the story, the 90s, this movie didn't just entertain us, it rewired us. It taught us to love movies. Home Alone isn't about realism. I mean, it's about childhood and bravery, healing and Christmas, and Chicago. And it's about what movies can do when they hit us at exactly the right moment in our lives. And never let go. By the way, Kevin was mentioned like 20 times, so I hope you have a happy and sloshed Christmas, you filthy animal.